Hi, I'm going to be doing a review of sections 5.1 and 5.2. There are 3 videos in this review, so this is the first one. And we're going to start by evaluating. Okay, this expression you should be able to recognize from the trig function identities. And this would be sin x, it's the same as sin x. So we know that the sine is 3/5. Okay, and then we have the cos here. We can just leave that as it is. Now I already drew this triangle. And this is the right angle right here. And we have to choose another angle. I'm going to choose this one, but you could choose a different one. You could draw it differently. It doesn't matter. And this side is adjacent to the angle. This side is opposite, and this is obviously the hypotenuse. Okay? So, we know sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So 3/5. And then cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and it's good to see that the hypotenuse corresponds, so we're just going to put a 4 here. First we're going to do our tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so that would be 3/4. And now we're not done just yet, because we have to do the reciprocal trig functions, so cosecant, secant, and cotangent, and we just flip them. So cosecant will be 5/3, secant will be 5/4, right? And then the last one is the cotangent, which will be 4/3. And this one, we're pretty much done now. So for the second one, you should recognize this expression. This is an even-odd identity. And I'm just going to write it down so we can reference it. Okay, that's the identity. So if we replace it like this, negative sin x equals negative 1/3. Okay, and then we divide both sides by -1. We get the sine of x equals 1/3. So that's really great because we got rid of those annoying negatives. And I'm just going to write it down right here so we know. Okay, now I'm going to start labeling my triangle, and I'm going to do it just like the one above for clarity. Okay, so I have to label this as above, so adjacent to the angle, opposite from the angle, and the hypotenuse. Okay, so now the labeling will be a little trickier. We're going to start with tan. We're not going to put in any negatives. Okay, so tangent is opposite over adjacent, so √2 and 4. And then we do our sine. Okay, so according to this, sine, by the way, is opposite over hypotenuse, so this would be 1, and this would be 3, but that's not possible because we have a √2 here. So basically opposite over hypotenuse has to equal 3, so this has to equal √2 over something. So to get a 1 in the numerator, you have to cancel the √2, so you need a a root 2 here to cancel. And then you need a 3 in the denominator. So so this hypotenuse will be 3 root 2, okay? Now, we have to decide what quadrant this is in. So I'm going to draw our little chart thing, which you should have memorized. And this is the signs of sin, cos, and tan in each quadrant. So plus, 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 minus, 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 plus, and minus, plus, minus. Okay, so tangent is negative. So it can't be this one, and it can't be this one, and sine is positive, so it's not this one, it's quadrant 2. Okay? So quad 2. I'm just going to make a note of that quickly. And again, those signs were plus, minus, minus. Okay, so now we're going to do our cosine. Cosine x. And we know cosine is going to be negative because of this, right? Sin, cos, tan. So cosine is negative something. Cosine is, as we know, adjacent over hypotenuse. So 4 over 3 root 2. Now we have a little problem with this because we can't have this root 2 in here. We have to rationalize. So root 2, root 2. So we're going to have 4 root 2 over, negative, okay, 3 times 2, which is the same as negative 4 root 2 over 6, and this we know is 2/3. So 2 root 2 over 3. Okay? Yeah, so that's our cosine. So I'm just gonna get rid of all this and neatly write it in its spot. Where is it? Negative 2 root 2 over 3. Okay, and now we're going to do the other 3. So, same concept, cosecant, secant, cotangent. So the signs, okay, that's important. Let's do cosecant first. Cosecant is positive. It would be 3 over 1, but we don't need the 1, so it'll just be 3. Then we're going to have secant. Secant. And since we had to rationalize here, I'm just going to look directly on my triangle. If cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, then secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, right? Oh, and it has to be negative, okay? So 3 root 2, negative 3 root 2 over 4. And last but not least, we're going to have cotangent. I need the X in there, sorry, equals, once again, this will be negative, okay? And cotangent is, we're going to flip this for root 2. Once again, we have to rationalize, so times root 2 times root 2 is going to be negative 4 root 2 over 2, and we can simplify even further because this is just 2. So, negative 2 root 2. Okay? And I'm going to write that neatly here. Negative 2 root 2. And that's pretty much it for these problems. I'm going to delete this. So, yep.